Hey, people of God. A lot of you guys are being taught a distress ministry. A distress ministry is not a deliverance ministry, but a ministry where they're telling you to be comfortable in distress. They're telling you to pretty much offer up yourself in distress. This is not God's will for your life. God say, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So what this says is when you're doing my will and you're doing my work, you should not have certain problems in your life. So the enemy now knows this. So what is the enemy going to do? He's going to cause that kind of problems. He's going to cause those kind of distresses. He's going to cause those kind of issues to say, oh, well, you're not doing the will of God and you're not doing the work of God. And you actually are. What you have to understand is this. The enemy knows that automatically your will and God will aligns together. So the enemy is always sowing seeds in your spirit. These seeds are connected to directly to the word of God. I am who I am. Okay. I am who I am, and I was created in God's image. So when you start sitting up there and you start getting thoughts that is not in accordance with the word of God, the enemy wants you to accept those thoughts because he's using repetition and saying, well, this is you. This is you. You got to be this and you got to be that. And this is how you do. And this is the way you are. And this is you. Now, the enemy knows that none of that stuff is you, but he wants you to identify with those things because those things will cause the wrath of God to come up against you. So remember, your will should always be the will of the Father, which is God. Your will should always be to do the work of God and to do what he has called for you to do. But guess what? You got to sit up here and you got to read that word of God, study to show thyself approved. Why? Because this is how I'm going to be able to detect the enemy. They say they never seen God, but did you actually see God work in your life in accordance with the word of God? Remind you, the enemy never likes to lose, but this is a losing season because the moment that you begin to implement the word of God in your life and follow Jesus Christ, you know that there's no weapon formed against me that shall prosper. Do it look like it's prospering? Yes. But are there other people that are in worse situations than you? Yes. I'm not trying to tell you to embrace abuse. I'm not trying to tell you to embrace people that are hurting you. I'm not trying to tell you none of that stuff. But I am telling you this. The reason why you're hurting so much so that they can sit up there and take control of you and try to have you sympathize with some of these tricks of the enemy.